So it appears that the Slurp juice is finally receiving a buff. Now I'm sure 99% of you already know how the Slurp juice functions, but just in case you don't, let me briefly talk about it. So the Slurp juice is of the epic rarity, which makes it a purple item. And upon drinking it, it'll grant you 1 health and 1 shield per second for 25 seconds. And that's a grand total of 25 health and 25 shield. In addition, the Slurp juice can heal players all the way up to 100 health and 100 shield points. Now as it stands currently, you can only activate 1 Slurp juice at a time, and you can only carry 2 of these items. So most people in need of healing use bandages first to get to 75 health, and then use a Slurp juice to top off to 100. Ideally, if you're at 75 health and 75 shield, you could obviously use one to get to maximum health. The problem was, if you were at maximum health already, you'd still only get a measly 25 shield. Or worse yet, if you were at max shield and say 10 health, you'd still only get 35 health in total. Basically, it was incredibly situational, and for an epic rarity item, this shouldn't have been the case. But all that's about to change with this next update. So there was a Reddit suggestion posted today that finally grabbed the attention of the Epic developers. Now I've seen this posted countless times, but it never got a reply from the devs. So here was the post by the appropriately named Reddit user Half Health. He suggested that if you have 100 shield and drank a Slurp juice, all the Slurp goes towards your health. Likewise, he said if you had full health already, all the points would go towards your shield. He then gave an example of having 80 health and 0 shield and drinking a Slurp juice, and it would then take him up to 100 health and 30 shield. Now an Epic developer read this topic and replied by saying, hey, that's a neat idea. But then a few hours later, the actual lead developer for Fortnite, Eric Williamson, replied by giving the full details. He said that in the next update, which is set to come out on Tuesday, Slurp Juice will now give 75 points at 2 per second, but prioritize health first. So if your health is full, it'll go towards your shield. So let me give you an example of this. Let's say I have 50 shield and 50 health and I take this new Slurp Juice. I would first receive 50 health at 2 health per second. And once that reaches 100, I'd still have 25 points left, which would all go towards my shield at the same rate. So by the end of the Slurp's duration, I'd be at 100 health and 75 shield. Now if you were at 100 health and 0 shield, all 75 points of the Slurp Juice would now go towards your shield. So in my opinion, this is a much welcome change. The Slurp Juice was extremely underwhelming given its rarity. In fact, I would see people drop a Slurp for as little as 2 minis, and why would you not though? If you were at full health and needed shield, 2 minis were way faster than 1 Slurp Juice, and they'd get you to 50 shield instead of 25. But with this new buff, Slurp Juice will be an incredibly powerful healing and shield item, with the drawback of taking a little time to kick in still in effect. I'm actually surprised this buff took them so long to implement, but this should change things up nicely. The only issue is the fact that they're still going to be incredibly rare. You can find minis in 50 pots left and right every game, but rarely do you ever see more than 2 Slurp Juices in a game. Even rarer yet is someone dropping a Slurp Juice after you've killed them. Now I've seen a lot of people complain about only being able to stack 2 Slurp Juices at a time, but honestly, when's the last time you've ever seen 2 in a game? I myself record every game I've ever played, dating back all the way to September of 2017, and I could only find 2 games where I found 3 Slurp Juices in a single match, and that's with me coming in the top 10 or better almost every game. Regardless, this buff is long overdue and should be absolutely incredible. So let me know in the comments if you're excited for this change or if there's any other changes you'd recommend. I know when the Slurp Juice first came out, there was a glitch where you could drink it while moving, and I've seen a lot of people recommend that this be returned to the game, but the developers said it was far too powerful even though it's pretty rare. I wouldn't mind if they brought this back either, but it doesn't sound likely. Still though, I for one can't wait for this buff to be live.